Welcome to Khas Mulakat. I'm your host, Sonia West. Today in the studio, we have Arjan and Akash Bhatha of Echo Support Group. So tell me, boys, what is Echo Support Group?
Echo Support Group is a non-profit organization that both of us have co-founded.
Okay.
And it stands for Everyone Can Help Others. And through Echo, we wanted to connect the community virtually, especially through the pandemic. We wanted to spread positivity, and we also wanted to spread awareness on community issues.
Yeah, COVID's been really difficult for a lot of people, so you're helping people get through that, especially with, that positivity.
Yeah, it's really important, I think, because it was really hard for a lot of people just not being able to talk to, even just talking to your neighbor, you didn't really have face-to-face contact without masks, so it got really hard just to talk with people. People got isolated, so it's really nice to provide a platform for people to talk to each other.
Okay, and you both are very young. I can see that you're young. So tell me about how did you even think of doing this? Because usually people try to help others when they're, well into adulthood, and you guys are still fairly young, as I said.
So from when we were young as well, we were always doing stuff like, for myself, I was volunteering at BC Children's Hospital, with the Canadian Cancer Society, BC Heart and Stroke.
Right. So tell me, Arjun, what do you do?
I volunteer with the City of Surrey Museum as a junior docent and a museum attendant. And I'm also volunteering with the City of Surrey through the libraries, the city libraries, as a reading buddy.
What does that mean, reading buddy? That sounds nice.
It's where grades 2 to 4, if they want to read, we have an hour session of just straight reading and having fun, playing games. As well, just to improve their comprehension of reading.
Right. A lot of parents don't have time to spend with their kids to read, so I think that might be a good program for them.
Yeah, especially with the pandemic when kids were doing online school.
Yeah.
So some of those programs were also virtual at home, so it's kind of not exactly the same as having a babysitter, but having a trusted figure with their kid.
Right, and having that human connection that was kind of lost during COVID.
Exactly.
So tell me, who influenced you?
My Babaji has definitely influenced me because he was the most honest and selfless person I've ever met. He was a Sarpanch for 3 decades, and he was also the chairman of the market committee of Fagwara.
Okay.
He was very instrumental for building roads, schools, post offices, and banks to connect villages as well.
Amazing. So that's back in India, obviously.
Yeah.
Wow. So he was kind of a pioneer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And how about you?
Yeah, I think our grandparents were very critical with for how we grew up and how we understand the world.
Right.
So again, our Babaji was very important to us. So was our Nanaji.
Okay. So both sides of the family.
Yeah, our Nanaji came to Canada in 1969. So he's one of the first people for our families to come to Canada.
Amazing.
And through hard work and determination, that's the biggest lesson we've learned is if you're working hard and you're always doing your best. It's a cliche, but if you do your best at everything you do, you're going to succeed no matter what, eventually. Right. And today, he's one of the biggest people in BC agriculture.
So tell me a bit about that, when you say he's one of the biggest people in agriculture in BC.
Yeah, so they run Cloverdale Country Farms.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, so I still think they're the biggest exporter of carrots in BC.
So if you're eating gajrela,
it's from them.
So you could thank them. Okay, and who else has inspired you and motivated you on your journey to Echo Support Group?
We've had great teachers at Clayton Heights, where we went to high school.
Right.
And he's still going and about to graduate from. So
you graduate this year?
Yeah.
Okay, so who are the teachers that inspire you? I'm curious.
Steve Sims, who teaches chemistry, he definitely teaches you a little bit more than just the stuff you learn in books.
Okay.
And growing up, for me, I had him for grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12.
Right.
And it's always good to have, we had a lot of good sources in our family for how to be a good person, but it's nice to have somebody else give you another point of view.
Right. So that's nice that you've got community support and you're paying it forward now.
Right.
So tell me a bit about what you've done in the past with Echo Support Group as far as helping. What kind of campaigns have you run?
So usually what we do with Echo Support Group is that we do daily posts to inspire people and put out positive messages to have good attitudes and lead a good day.
Right.
Our initiatives address community issues. For example, we have done our Backpack for Kids fundraiser twice, where we donated 70 backpacks filled with supplies and extra boxes of supplies to schools in Surrey.
That's amazing. That's really good. I know about your Instagram posts because I see them. And honestly, if I'm scrolling through and I see a positive message like you guys post, it does actually make me have a happier day. Just because it's nice to see that positivity, right? It's contagious.
It is, yeah. Even if you don't want to acknowledge it, you kind of have to. And even if you don't think about it, it'll help you do better in the day.
That's true. So what other campaigns have you done besides the backpack one, which is awesome?
We actually just on Valentine's Day dropped off 119 cards for the seniors at Brookside Seniors Home. And we also did that last year during Seniors Day for them.
Okay.
And for us in our culture, the elders are a big part of it, right? We don't really send people to elderly homes most of the time. We live with them, we take care of them. And so Anne, who was the coordinator for Brookside Lodge, I was talking to us about how it's sad that for a lot of those people there, like those are the only cards they're going to get all year, right?
So tell me a bit about that, because you're right. People often forget the seniors. So it's nice that you took, an interest in making them happier. What does that entail?
For us, we lost our paternal side grandparents during the pandemic, and
during the pandemic,
just before,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so I guess we understand how important they were for us.
Right.
So we just want to make sure that everyone understands that as well. So that's one of the messages we try to spread.
Right.
And also just taking care of elders in general. I think every one of them, even if we're not directly related, is our elder, right? Their family.
Yeah.
Sending cards. We weren't really allowed to meet people during the pandemic because of the senior home situation during the pandemic, but just giving cards. And again, we had talked to Anne, who was the coordinator, and she was telling us about how happy some of them were just to get something, right?
Yeah, that's amazing. So what does the future look like for Echo Support Group? Like what kind of, is there other campaigns that you've been thinking about doing, or?
There's stuff that we want to do, but we're not really sure how to start it. So a lot of the time we brainstorm together like what we want to do and how we would go about doing it.
Right.
Looking at the future though, we always love getting ideas from other people. We get DMs a lot about, hey, you guys should try to look into this, or hey, maybe look into this, like the giving food to the homeless shelter, and the care packages that we did back last year.
So you did care packages for the homeless last year?
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
So for the homeless care packages drive, we made 57 care packages filled with toques, masks, and also $5 Tim Horton gift cards, stuff like that, just to pay it forward. And like we want to help the homeless because it's definitely a big issue, and especially in Surrey, and we wanted to take initiative to do whatever we could.
People definitely take it for granted that we grew up, we had supplies every year, we had clothes every year.
Yeah.
We never went cold during the winter. We always had heat. People
and
don't
Tim
have
Hortons.
That. And Tim Hortons,
We're so easily after school, let's grab a hot chocolate, right?
Right, a hot coffee goes a long way for a lot of people, right? So it's very sad to see that people go without with stuff that we take, we use every day. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a nice campaign too. So giving back to the homeless and making sure that they're warm and they've got so much
blankets and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so what else is on the agenda for the future?
Looking into the future, we definitely want to be able to expand what we do for schools in general. There's 1,300 kids that go without every year with supplies.
Really?
Yeah, and that's just in Surrey, right?
I had no idea.
And that's a lot. So
that is a lot.
We've always been looking to either like how do we crowdsource more money or more supplies? Right. How do we make it bigger so that number is as close to zero as we can get it?
Right.
So again, we've been brainstorming, we've been reaching out to people, and if anyone has resources that they'd like to share with us, we're always open for suggestions and help.
Right. So basically, Echo Support will help anybody in every cause that they can, as long as they're giving back to the community.
Yeah, exactly. Anything that strengthens our communities is stuff that we pursue.
So what area are you guys working in?
Mainly in Surrey. Brookside Lodge was in Langley.
Right.
Surrey's, I think, one of the best, not best, but closest to home. And it's one of the better ones for us to tackle just because of how many issues that we can see and we're able to affect. Right. And Surrey is strong with small businesses, local businesses that want to give back as well. That's our main source, right? So I just want to take a second to thank all the local businesses, all the people in Surrey that have helped us do what we've done, right? We can't do it without them. Yeah. And it's nice to see the community gets together and wants to make a change.
So how many people are behind Echo Support Group? Like, what is the group consisting of?
As of right now, it's just me and my brother organizing like pickups and drop-offs and talking to people and get for donations and stuff like that. But it is a community effort, right? So we're not the ones donating our money, we're just donating our time, right? Yeah. So we do want to get bigger, and we're going to have to get bigger if we want to be able to do more. Right. But as of right now, it's just us.
So off camera, we talked a bit about family and then a bit about giving back and, you know, the seva component, because we are South Asian and it's in our teaching that we want to give back and continue that. So tell me about maybe a little, maybe if you have a story about family member or somebody when you were little, something maybe you can share on either side, either of the grandparents. Or parents, it could be anything actually.
That's true. Yeah. Our Nanaji was in Canada, so we had a lot more time that we spent with him. I was in India for 6 months, he was in India for 2 months with our Babaji. Oh. So we still had time with them and our grandparents on our dad's side, but most of our time spent with our grandparents was with our Nanaji and our mom's side.
So you lived in India for 6 months?
2 separate times. So I went with 2 months with him, but I also went with 4 months with my Nana and Naniji.
Amazing.
When I went to India. Yeah.
Which is really nice to be able to stay there for that long.
It was probably the best experience that I had.
Yeah.
Because I wish I was able to do it in my teens though, so I would have remembered more.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that affects you, and when you get older and you look back, you're like, wow, I definitely learned a lot now.
Do you think that trip or those 2 trips, did that contribute to what you're doing with Echo Support Group at all?
I think for sure, like having time with people that have always been giving back to the community, and even like for my Babaji, he was always pushing for, hey, make sure you're taking care of your family. Your family's not just the people that live in your house, it's a person down the street.
Right.
When we were younger and we were spending time in India, people like the gully, everyone was coming out, everyone was talking to each other. You were in your neighbor's house a lot of the time.
Right.
The community was really just a family.
Yeah.
And I think, especially now, that's something that probably should come back, because more love in the world is always a good thing.
Right, and you guys are kind of bringing that back by giving back to the community, like the Brookside Lodge.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
You know? So your Babaji was quite influential in how you are today. So is there something that you could share about your Babaji that you have fond memory of? I know you were saying he was really involved in India and making things happen.
Yeah, definitely. We still connect. We used to connect with him over the phone. Like we would used to call him at least weekly to make sure we get connect with them. Yeah. And he always used to say, you don't get wealthy by acquiring money. You get wealthy by helping others and improving your community. So that quote definitely resonates with me and inspires me to be a leader and also give back to my community.
That's amazing. That's really nice. And anything else you want to share about Echo Support Group?
About Echo Support? Yeah. So again, it's just the 2 of us right now, and so a lot of our resources and time, sometimes it's hard to manage between school and midterms and doing the Echo stuff. Yeah. But we love doing it. It's really fun. Yeah. And we hope that we can always do more.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so your parents are instrumental in who you are today?
Yeah. Our parents are definitely instrumental for who we are today. They used to always give us whatever we wanted, no matter what. Okay. They also give us our values, and they always preach about community service and helping your community. Not just people in your community, but everyone especially. Because you never know if someone's struggling. Just that little bit of hope in their life could definitely make their day better, and want to make them pay it forward as well.
I would have to agree with you, Arjan, because I feel like a lot of times people are walking around, they're busy, they're smiling, or they're not smiling. You don't know what they're thinking. So to have someone in the community like Echo Support Group be there just in case to say, hey, here's your positive message, and if you need help, reach out. I mean, that's pretty awesome that you guys are providing that for people. Yeah. Yeah. So your parents are both helpful like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. And so have your parents ever come over, have they overcome any adversity? Like any problems that you guys saw growing up thinking, oh my goodness, like they went through this and now we can actually make things better for them? Is there anything like that happened?
When I was 8 years old, my dad was in a car accident and he got 3 herniated discs in his back. Oh my goodness. So he had a long road to recovery. So, and he always took it with a smile on his face, right? He never really was crying in front of us or...
so this was when you were 8 years old?
I was 8 years old, yeah.
So you were about, what, 5?
4 years old.
4 years old. And do you remember this?
I don't remember the incident, but I definitely remember some memories, like when I was younger, about him, his back and how it affected you guys.
Yeah. So how did it affect you guys, Akash?
I think when we were younger, for us, a lot of it was hidden for a lot of it, where our dad wouldn't really share with us what he was going through. Right. But as I got older, so I was cutting the lawn for him at 8 years old because he couldn't finish it, right? Yeah. And going into grocery stores to pick up groceries, and I started young.
Yeah.
And so I think I was lucky where he shielded me from most of it, but I still had to mature a little bit and not goof off a lot as a kid.
Well, kind of kept you on track too, because
Exactly.
often youth go the wrong path. You know, and so for him to give you such responsibility, it's kind of a blessing at the same time, wasn't it?
Exactly, yeah. So our dad being home as well, I think a lot of kids nowadays, you know, they're out till 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Especially in high school, like every year you see, you know, something else happening. So we were really lucky to have our dad close and always giving us good values. And I think we've definitely grown up to be, I like to hope that we're like him as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking to you and I'm kind of laughing in my head thinking, you know, what do you do for fun? We like to give back to the community, you know? It's kind of funny, but it's wonderful. I mean, you guys are great role models for the youth. In the Lower Mainland, we've got some issues with our South Asian youngsters, and it's like, it's a little scary. So you guys doing good work, giving back to the community, I think that's a really good message.
Yeah, I think that not one person can speak for any group, but like our ideals come from the South Asian ideology, right? We're Sikh, we carry the ideals of our people. So I think that more and more people that do so, like we're trying to change the way we're perceived. Because you're right, it is an issue where, you know, kids coming in and they're not necessarily acting out of respect for people around them. And I think that's,
So Echo Support Group is there to help anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Echo Support will actually take an interest in any initiative that is going to give back to the community, correct?
Exactly, yeah.
So and I know it's just the two of you for now. So if you are looking to give a message to our viewers in order for them to either get help from you or to get involved, you can look right in that camera over there and let them know.
You can reach out to us on Instagram at Echo Support Group. Feel free to shoot us a direct message. We're always open to suggestions for what to tackle next. And if you're able to help us, again, same thing, just shoot us a message and we'd love to have people jump on board.
So is there a message that you have for our viewers, because you are 17 years old and this is probably the exact moment in a teenage life that you can choose this path or choose the other path. So if there's a message you can say to our youth watching right now, you can look right in that camera and let them know.
Yeah, definitely. I would like to, the only advice I could really give to anyone would be to step out of your comfort zone and try new things. For us personally, initiating Echo Support Group was very difficult, and also we persevered and made Echo work. But through Echo, we have met amazing people, and we also had experiences that changed the way we view the world.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, boys. I really appreciate you talking to us today, and I hope people do see this and get involved with your organization. It's wonderful. I'm excited to see what's going to happen next.
Us as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was our show for today. Khas Mulakat. I'm Sonia West, and we will see you again next time.